This recording is for history of modern thought, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about existentialism. Well, when we talk about existentialism, it's a very crucial topic in philosophy, and it's a movement not only in philosophy but also in literature that emphasizes individual existence, freedom, and choice. Well, in Indonesian, we know the word ngeksis or eksis. It's not really related to existentialism, but I think there is a part of it if we look at the definition of existentialism and the principles inside existentialism that we can relate to what we know as ngeksis or eksis. So as we see here in existentialism, the people who hold this philosophy believe in the existence of individuals, okay? And in human freedom, we can say it like that too. And they emphasized the choice of everybody. So it's not only the choice of a group. It's not only the decisions of a group, but also somebody's decision. So they look at people, they look at the society not as a whole, not as a group, but as individuals. So they look at the individuals. And then this school of thought also ignores the existence of God in human being. So in another video, we talked about positivism, which also ignores the existence of God. And this existentialism, because like it pays attention a lot to the individuals, so it means that there's no place for God also in this philosophy. And what is so strange or quite difficult for us to see about existentialism is that it admits philosophical suicide, okay, which is for Indonesian context, because most of us believe in God. This one is really against our beliefs, but we're going to see in details about this existentialism, however. Now, why existentialism has this kind of view about the world or about human beings? Well, this is because this philosophy is based on the view that humans define their own meaning in life. So if we relate to our context in Indonesia, so we do not, so people, in our understanding, people do not define their own meaning. People do not decide what is important in this life, things like that. So to define this for believers, for the theists like us, for example, we have to involve supernatural being. We have to involve God. We have to involve power that is beyond our understanding. But for the existentialists, to understand this, we do not have to relate to God. We do not have to relate to divine source, okay? Because human beings themselves are able to define and to judge what is good and what is bad for the community and for people in general. So from this, existentialism focuses on the question of human existence. So there is also an explanation that it means that we have to prove our existence. In other words, we can say that even though we exist But if we do not prove this existence by making our own decisions, it's also probably that we can be called as non-existence, because we don't exist. So maybe in Indonesian, like not exist, not exist. So we are there physically, but no influence that we can make, no decisions that we can take, because everything in our lives is decided or dictated by sources outside of us. Okay. So for the existentialists, there is no God. There is no transcendent force. So therefore, we will be able to find meaning in life only when we embrace our existence. It's quite a difficult concept to understand, but it means that, well, we exist. That's what we have to underline. We exist, and because of that, we are able to define this existence and to decide what are the purposes of this existence. And then another point that we need to take into account here related to existentialism is that individuals are considered as entirely free. Okay? What is meant by free here is that an individual is believed to be able to do anything. And anything here means like anything that opposes social rule, okay, or any governmental rule, and so on. So if somebody wants to go to the street, for example, wearing nothing and then screaming on the street, we can relate it to this principle. It's okay to do that because individuals are free. However, what is believed, or what the existentialists also hold, that it's not only this freedom. It's not that humans are free. Not only that, but humans also have to be responsible for themselves. So we said earlier that if you want to go to the street and then screaming and then wearing nothing, of course that's okay because you're free. But then you also have to be responsible for the consequence of your freedom. It's like that. So it's not only being free, but also being responsible for the consequence of this freedom. Well, so far it's quite interesting to look into, okay? Because so far maybe many people they feel that they're free, and they think they're free and they can do anything. But when it comes to responsibility over what they've just done, and then they run away from that. Okay. So existentialism emphasizes action, emphasizes freedom, and emphasizes decision as fundamental in raising above the essentially absurd condition of humanity. One of the figures known in existentialism is Jean-Paul Sartre. Well, for Sartre, existence precedes essence, which means that only by existing and acting a certain way, we are able to give meaning of our lives. So if this is confusing to you, this will be able to understood by relating to what other people believes. Well, there many other people believes that meaning or essence precedes existence. So if we relate to human beings, for example, before I was born, before I existed in this world, meaning has been there, functions has been there, because we believe in divine source, that my purpose of being in this world, of being born, has been there. Okay, so there are values that has been there before I the world. Okay, before I was born. However, for Sartre, it's the other way around. So there is no meaning, there is no purpose, and any other thing related to this that precedes my existence. So I came here, I was born without any purpose. So, but then me as human being, I have to decide what is the purpose of my existence in this world. Okay, so for Sartre, there's no fixed design for how human beings should be and what they should do. No fixed design for this, like what other people believes. So in other words, God does not give us a purpose. Okay, so supernatural being or divine source do not give people a purpose to live with. Okay. Heidegger, God exists but illogical. So this is complex and it's open to interpretation. What does it mean by he exists but illogical? So you can look for further information about this later. And then according to Heidegger, there are important questions that we need to address when it comes to this life, which is about how to live and how to live authentically. So it's not only just to live, but it's also authentic. That is, with integrity, especially because in this world it's politically and technologically seductive and dangerous world. So he addresses this kind of issues in which how to live the best way. Then there is Soren Kierkegaard. So for Kierkegaard, for him, when it comes to life, life is now. Okay, so it's not about the past, it's not about the future. See, it's now. So there is a very well-known term or expression from this philosopher, which is carpe diem. Okay, seize the day. So carpe diem is in which, okay, because life is now, and you have to make use of the time, of the present, and just enjoy it. Well, if we relate to us as the believers, for example, we don't think that life is only for now, but what we think about is that this life is only temporary, and then there will be next life after this, which is the real one, something like that. But this life right now is to prepare for that coming life. Okay, but this is different from what is said in carpe diem, which implies that there is no life after this. This is it. So you have to enjoy this one. And then another figure well known in this existentialism that I want to talk about is Gabriel Marcel. So for Marcel, when this is related to miracle, so he said that there are many miracles in the world, but the only miraculous thing is human being. So again and again, the praise here, the focus is the human beings. So because of that, the emphasis is again in human beings and in the decisions, in the individual, and in the freedom of human beings. So if we relate all of these aspects and the points from these philosophers about existentialism, it's really against what we believe or what we think about lives as the believers. So this talk is not made against existentialism or against these philosophers, or not also made against religion or against the believers, but what we're doing here is that to see objectively that this is what the existentialists think about life, or propose about how life should be, how should we look at the world, and these are what the believers or the theists, what should be the main focus of our life in the world. See you.